Susan. Good morning, Susan.
I wouldn't want to leave you all alone there. Getting up for nothing.
I know.
How are you?
Good. Yeah, it's a little chilly here. It's in the 40s outside, so
Chilly in California?
I know. You mostly just think it goes.
It's chilly here too, so I can't believe you got up for this. And I said, there's no way, because I haven't really done, this week I've been slammed. I know we're recording, but nobody cares. But I was like, I was just sitting here watching CBS Sunday morning. It's like, oh my God, I can't leave Sean there. It's so, especially when he's getting up for us.
Yeah.
And my knee is bummed too. So I'm working around things. So I will be quiet now. What room, where are you?
I'm just outside the kitchen in the dining area. Not in the formal dining room.
Good morning.
How are you?
Are you allowed to be making noise so early?
No.
Waking Christian and his girlfriend Maddie.
Christian and Maddie are sleeping on the pull-out couch right here.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, so then why don't you, I tell you what, if nobody else comes on right now, seriously, because I haven't done all week's classes and I twisted my knee. So here's the deal.
How did you twist your knee?
It was already a little tweaked and I heard something go to start crashing over there where my, so this lipstick champagne thing, I thought it was my painting. Like I went around and then I twerked it some more. I was at Debbie's last night for dinner with my mom. I took her over, so that was nice. But Sean, honestly, I have 4 other classes to catch up on.
But I'm sure,
And
Anne's gonna join. She just joins late.
so I'll text her.
Let's do it.
Because there's no point. I'm behind in classes, so let's just wait a sec. Only if Anne feels guilty like me that I wasn't gonna let you talk. I got lots to do. Let's see. Annie.
I think she wants to do it.
We could do.
And we have to film it anyways, because we have to send it to Mark. We have to do it. Let's just do it.
Start doing it?
Yeah.
All right. You decide. You can cut out anytime. I'm good with that.
All right. Well, that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah. Do you, Sean?
I'll do me. That's you want to do.
Are you serious, you guys? Really?
Yeah.
Why don't you do it in 2 hours? Seriously?
Yeah, we can do it.
Do it in 2 hours.
What about
Or
Anne?
3. I'm home all day. I don't think she's gonna. She's totally. Yeah. There's no point. Just it's too early in there. This minute. Just a second. Let's see if I can call her. Seriously. Why don't you do it if you do it at 1 o'clock, then people are up. Just a second. And it doesn't matter to Mark, does it?
Okay, let's do it.
Oh, is she there?
Yeah.
We're doing it. Told ya.
Okay. All right.
Let's go.
Did you guys just fly in or something?
No.
It's 7 o'clock in the morning there, and I was trying to tell them because Christian's sleeping right beside them. I said, "Why don't you just do it in a couple of hours?"
No,
I said,
Yeah.
I jumped on because I was like, I don't want Sean getting up for nothing.
we're doing it now.
Okay,
Good morning.
I can do it later.
me
Please,
too, but
please mute your computer.
okay, we have to shut up now.
All right. Well, as we get started today, let's come to the middle part of our mats. Bring our feet a little wider than hip width apart. Take your big toes and angle them in slightly so we have a slight internal rotation of the feet. I'd like you to take an emphasis right now.
I see you.
On the ball of the big toe and take the ball of each big toe and kind of rotate it down onto the mat. Let the small toes start to lift off that spine, and then if they do, I'd like you kind of like keep the emphasis on the ball of the big foot and let those small toes just descend back onto your mat. Let's bring the legs absolutely straight and then try to lock them out by engaging the muscles on the top parts of the leg. When you feel those quadriceps, those big thigh muscles actively working, let's bring the fingers as such, the thumbs and the baby fingers onto your belly area. Now, the baby fingers, you're gonna feel around till you get the bones of your pelvic girdle, the top of it. And then the thumbs, I'm gonna ask you to place on the bottom of your ribs. As we inhale, I like you to make an expansion between hips and ribs, try to create as much space there as possible. And then as you release your breath, I'd like you to maintain that space as best you can. Now we're gonna add a little bit of extra dimension. I'd like you to take your belly, I'd like you to pull it in and then try to lift it up towards your head. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, keep that expansion. Now let's take the chin, draw it in towards the neck, and then try to elevate from the back of the head. Make your chest proud. Take your elbows and start to pull them together behind you. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, let's bring the hands out straight in front. Let's cup the fingers, bring fingertips and thumbs together, and then take your elbows and try to rotate them downward and inward as you push forward with the hands. Pull your hips backwards, take a big inhale. On the exhale, let's raise up the arms. As you inhale, try to raise them a little higher. And as you exhale, let's fold down, bring your fingertips to your mat, walk your hands out, feet back. Plank pose. Pull your hips up and back to down dog. It's holding this for a little second as we awaken those posterior muscles. Let's try to draw the hips up towards the sky. Come up onto your toes. As you keep the hips pulling towards the sky, drive your heels down to the earth. Come back to your plank pose. And then lower your knees down onto the mat. And then step the hands back so you have your arms and your legs, the upper legs, kind of positioned one under each other, under each other. So you're in a quadruped position. Let's let the head fall. And then if you can imagine from the center of your spine, there's a little string that's going to pull all of that floating material towards the sky as you inhale, hollow out your belly. And as you exhale, let's reverse that. Pull the back of the head towards the sky. Let's push your chest towards the earth. Let's take your tailbone and roll it up. And if we roll up the tailbone, again, I could try to engage that midsection muscle known as our rectus abdominis, that big six-pack muscle. I could hollow it out. And it's going to create an activation of all of those abdominal muscles. On the next breath, as you release it, let's reverse it once again. Take the back of the head, pulling it high to the sky, taking the tailbone, rolling it high to the sky. As you'll hollow out your belly, inhale. And as you exhale, come back to a neutral spine, walk it back out to your plank. So that's like a walk and a step. All right, plank pose, love this. Now, I'm going to try to make an expansion across the chest and the back simultaneously while it's under a little bit of load. So we're trying to make both of those areas, front and back, nice and wide. And sink down into your shoulders a little bit so you can kind of feel that whole torso kind of lowering down towards the earth. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, pull your hips up and back, down dog. Once again, we're going to try to expand front and back, across the chest and back simultaneously as you inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to keep that expansion as we try to pull the chest through closer to our legs. There's a difference between pulling our heads and pulling our chest. So try to create length along the neck as we create a shorter angle between the hips and our upper body. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale this time, come back to plank. Come down into all fours. Find that nice positioning. Two areas of perpendicular, the arms and the upper legs. Make sure your toes are tucked under. And then slowly lift the knees up off the earth. We're going to hover them just about an inch. And then we're going to slowly lower them back down. So we're going to oscillate between these 2 points, raising and lowering. Let's sequence this with our breath. Inhaling as we rise and exhaling as we lower. Let's do this for a few more repetitions. And then we're all going to meet on all fours. You're going to take your left hand and reach it forward. straight out in front. Let's rotate the palm so it faces the earth. And then let's use the fingers to pull the arm long. Now, as we start to create length in the arm, we're going to spiral that elbow down towards the earth and continue to try to rotate it into the midline of the body, which means your palm is going to be opening more and more to the sky. Arms extended straight, nothing's changed. And then let's bring that hand back down underneath you. Take the opposite hand, reach it forward. Keep the palm facing the earth. Make the arm nice and long. While we reach that arm long, we're going to spiral that elbow down and around, trying to create as much torque or opening through that shoulder. As we come back to all fours, take both feet, step them back, and come back into plank. Let's add a little bit of muscle in here. So knees optional if need, but if you can, hover low. And then hover high. And let's do that 2 more times. Meeting all in that plank position of ours. Pull your hips up and back, down dog. Pushing high into your toes, driving the heels to the earth. And then stepping both feet forward. The fingertips upon the floor. Let's extend the back flat, as flat as we can, our version of it. Pull the back of the head up equal in height to the back itself as you give another inhale. And as you exhale, let it all fold down. Put a little bend in the knees. And let's lower the hips. And start to lower them to your back as in tabletop position. Now, give me a nice proud chest. Hollow out your belly. Take both hands, bring them up onto your thighs. A little bit of support. Now, this is our support position. If we need to remain here, that's fine. But if we can, I'm going to start this off progression one at a time. I'm going to take the left arm, reach it straight forward. I'm going to take the right arm, reach it forward. And I'm going to take a little evaluation of what's happening in our lower back. It feels good. If I got the strength there, we're going to bring the fingertips together by cupping the hands. So the thumbs and fingertips connect. I'd like you to push a little of each into each other. So the fingertips and thumbs push to each other as you extend the arms straight. Let's spiral the elbows down and in towards the midline of the body. So we're reaching out, arms long, and then spiraling the elbows down and in towards each other. Take a big inhale. On the exhale, let's keep the hips in place, but let's start to unhinge that upper body. So we have the arms reaching long, and we're elevating and opening through the hips. So we're in a highly work-oriented stage right now. Let's hollow out the belly. Let's give me as much hollow as you can to help that low back be supported. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, fold it all the way down, step back plank. Knees is an option. Hover low, hover high, and do it 2 more times. First one done loses. And that's me down dog position. And when we all arrive there, push high onto your toes, drive the heels back down to the earth. And then as you sweep your body forward, step it forward so you have both hands framed by both feet framed by your hands. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Exhale, fold back down. And let's bring hand to opposite elbow. Let's hang out for a couple breaths. Let's play around a little bit, have a little fun. As much fun as you can have when you're working your body with some of the angles in the knees and our ankles. So let's bend the knees a little bit and see if you can lower your butt. And then as you bend your knees, let's push them forward towards the toes so that the angle and the ankle, say that 5 times fast, shortens a little bit too, narrows down. Now let's make everything straight. Straighten the legs, straighten back, straighten the neck. Keep down in that folded position as best you can. And then when you're ready, unhinge, sweep your arms to the sky, Welcome back, folks. Like, welcome back, Potter. Yeah. So let's take the elbows and rotate them in towards the midline of the body. So your palms will be facing backwards. Let's continue that internal spiral as we lower the arms shoulder height. Let's take the feet wider than mat width and turn your toes in so that they're angled in. We have a nice extension of the arms who are elevated, hands above eyes right now. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, let's hollow out the belly. And on the next breath, as you release that, bring the elbows into the sides of the body, pull them all the way back, and keep the hands rotated towards the sky. Now, pull the elbows together. As you create that expansion through the chest, I'd like you to similarly work the back and try to make it wider too. A lot of upper body, shoulder muscle kind of working to create the expansion of both front and back. Now, as we push forward, keep the palms facing the sky. Bring the baby fingers together, bring the forearms together, and continue to spiral the elbows in towards each other as we create length from the arm and elevation of both of them. Take a big inhale. On the exhale, rotate everything down towards the earth, including the arms. Take a hang out here for a couple breaths. Remember, we have our feet wider than hip width apart. If you can, walk them out a little wider, and then take the big toe of each foot and turn it in. So it kind of makes a wedge type shape with your feet. Let's bring the back into extension. And for support, if we need it, bring the palms up onto the shins. So we're going to tabletop our back. Now, as we create the tension in these muscles of the legs, we're going to kind of alter around our hip position to create tension in different muscles of the legs. So I like you to be straight a leg as possible, engaging those big, strong quadriceps of yours. Pull your hips backwards. And continue to do so. And as you do, I'd like you to kind of register what's happening in muscles in and around your hips. Right now, as we pull back, you probably feel a nice pull or release in some of those inner thigh muscles, hamstrings, maybe a little bit in the gluteals, maybe other points too. Now, let's keep the right hand down and bring the left hand directly outside the body. Let's make an effort now to pull back ever so slightly more. And while we work to keep the heel of the foot, the highly registered point of weight bearing, let's take the left shoulder, rotate it to the sky, and let that left arm just kind of go along for the ride. Now, bring the left arm down, and take the right arm out, and then rotate the right shoulder, with the right arm following along. Beautiful. And let's come back down so we're all reconnected with the earth. Let's hang out a little bit. We're going to stretch out that low back by allowing our hips to pull back and our legs to get long, nice and straight. I'm going to let that upper body fold in just a little more if we can. The head just kind of dangle there. All right, as you inhale, we're going to re-engage. Take the back of the head, start to pull it to the sky. Remember, we're not looking to crane the neck by pushing it forward and compress that low back neck. We want expansion and decompression. Let's inhale and exhale. Bring fingertips to earth if you're in a supported position. And if you need to remain in a supported position, just stay there. Take the left hand out beside the body. Take the left shoulder, rotate it to the sky. Got to rotate just ever so slightly higher, and then sweep that hand back down, take up opposite side. Same thing, inhaling, lengthening, rotating, releasing, and switching. Let's do this for a few more repetitions. Do it at your own pace. Some nuances of this to make sure that you're not drifting forward. We want to feel most of the weight bearing posterior of the foot, in the posterior part of the foot, not so much in the ball of the big toe. Those heels bearing most of the weight. Legs relatively straight. We still have that internal rotation of the toes themselves. Keep going for another couple reps. Just thinking all of this work is providing betterment to my spine. And then let's all meet in a tabletop position, fingertips on the earth. Pull your hips back even further if you can. And then bring your palms down onto the earth. And if you can, rotate the palms so that the fingers are aiming as far back as you can. Again, this is kind of the same internal rotation we were practicing. So those elbows have spiraled in towards the midline of the body. Let's walk the hands backwards towards the feet. Walk them through the feet if you can. It's going to require a lot of flexion of that lower back, and a lot of release of the muscles that interact with the hips. It's not about forcing, it's about kind of taking our body to a place where it may be uncomfortable, but it's secure in its process. Let's walk the hands back forward. Let's step them up onto our thighs. Give me a tabletop back. And then use the arms and hands to kind of assist us unfolding, coming back up to a wide-legged standing position. Let's bring the hands back forward. Let's cup them and connect them. Let's take the elbows and rotate them downward and inward. Let's pull the butt back even more. And let's take a rotation slightly to the right and come back center. And then opposite side. And then slowly between the 2 points. As we make these rotations slowly, make sure we have a nice push of the fingertips and thumbs together. But more importantly, a nice rotation down and in of the elbows. A nice extension for that whole shoulder. Come back center. Separate the hands shoulder width apart. Separate the shoulders. Try to get them off the spine, off that midline of the body. Take your hands, reach into the sky. As you release your next breath, fold it to the earth. Step your feet back to plank. Change the orientation on your mat if you need to, like Kirsten did. Nice. Now pull up and back to down dog. Let's take your left leg, reach it to the sky. Now, length and decompression. Let's make that leg long. So let's take the heel and push it away from the body. And let's use the quadriceps, those strong core muscles at the front of the leg and the thigh, to help kind of engage. It's isometrically activated, and the knee is relatively straight. And this is going to put more emphasis on our gluteus maximus, that shapely muscle, or that muscle you want to look shapely. So we're going to keep the heel pushing away, keep those quads highly active, and try by hollowing out the belly and then lifting the leg a little higher. Should put a nice emphasis on that muscle. Do we feel it, Kirsten?
Yes.
Yes. And Sue and Ann are not looking at me, but I can tell that they are working hard to accomplish the same thing. Let's release that leg back down. And then let's have some fun on the other side. Let's elevate the right leg. Let's push that heel away from the body. Let's activate those quadriceps. Let's hollow out that belly, and let's try to lift that leg just a little higher. So we have muscles on both sides of the hip joint actively working to support the position and create that deep activation. Remember, heel driving away, quads highly active, hollowed out belly, and an elevation to create more activation in the gluteal. Let's lower that leg, come back to plank. Come down into all fours, and let the head drop and pull the center of the spine to the sky, cat and cow. Oscillate between the two. And when you're ready, let's come back into your plank. Pull your hips up and back. Take the left leg, reach it to the sky. And now we're going to play around with this just a little more. So let's make sure our hips maintain a relatively square orientation to our mat. So we're not elevating the left hip. We want to kind of keep the focus on the posterior muscles and less so on the lateral or side body muscles. As we work to keep the hips square, drive that heel away. Engage those front quads, almost like you're locking out that knee, and you kind of really are. But we're going to use that emphasis of muscle in the front to create activation in the back. So as the heel drives, as quads remain highly active, lift the leg. Now, I didn't add in the belly. You might notice that without that hollowing out of the belly, it creates a little more pressure in that low back. And if you need to, add it in. Let's bring that leg down. Let's come back to plank, just to kind of relieve a little pressure in the wrists. Pull up and back to down dog. Come back to plank. Down dog. Plank it one more time. And take it back and lift the right leg. Drive that heel long. Engage strongly those quadriceps. Hollow out belly if you need it. Elevate that leg higher if you can. Keep those hips square. Try to rotate internally. So try that right hip in this case towards your mat as you create length with the leg, activation in the front of it, and elevation of it with that strong gluteal muscle of yours. And as you lower that right leg, step or jump your feet up and in between your hands. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, pull back down. Sweep your arms to your sky as you unhinge. Oh, hello. And bring hands back over heart. Nice. Once again, we're going to step feet wider than mat width apart. If we need to be sideways on the mat, that is fine. As we get into this position, I'll make sure we're not hyperextending that low back. I like to keep that nice, strong activation of that six-pack muscle of yours as we bring our hips backwards. Now, while we hold here, I'm going to play around a little bit. We're going to take the ball of each big toe. So the ball of the right foot, big toe. And isometrically, we're going to create an activation, which is going to be felt more in our inner thigh. So I'd like you to take that joint, that ball, and try to pull, not rotate it anymore, but pull it towards the left heel. So it's kind of pulling into center. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. And Kirsten's starting to smile, so I know she's kind of getting this. Hopefully you are too. You should feel those smaller muscles of the inner thighs talking to you a little bit. Let's have a little conversation with them. Let's keep that X type of pull. Opposite side, front, pulling to the opposite side, back. And while we keep that active in both legs, let's pull your butt back just a little further. Let's make sure you're hollowing out your belly. With that transverse abdominis, that's your belly band, kind of supports the little back. Take your hands and reach them forward. Nice. So we have a lot of stuff going on here, a lot of like inwardly rotating things. And we have extension going on. And we have expansion. Try to make the shoulders and chest wider. Now, as we keep that long arm of ours, fingertips and thumbs connected, let's take the elbows, straighten them, and then try to rotate them in towards each other through the under and midline of the body. So we're getting nice and long, almost like you're trying to open your palms to the sky, but we're not. We're just creating an isometric activation. Inhale, lift the arms up. And exhale, fold all the way down. Beautiful. Now, straighten out the legs, pull that butt back. Can't pull it back too far. Go, 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 go. Now, walk your hands up onto your thighs. As you inhale, extend to a flat back, pull the back of the head up equal in line to the back itself. Great job. Remember, pulling the chin into the spine is pulling the back of the head. It's just a muscle activation. We try to get from behind. Let's take a big inhale. And on the exhale, keep that big lean you got into your body and bring your hands out right in front of your body. So you might unhinge just a little more. That's fine. Take your fingertips and thumb tips together. Let's hollow out the belly. And then very slowly, I'd like you to kind of rise out of this position. And bring your hands all the way to the sky. Beautiful. Now, while we are in this standing position, legs still spread, let's create a little bit of spiral action. So we're going to take the elbows, try to rotate them into each other. The arms are nice and long. And then we're going to kind of reach up to our right side and turn into that side. So we're creating a rotation. Now pull the hands high, create length, decompress through the spine and neck. Keep the arms and shoulder carriage rotating up, all the way at the belly, creating a nice rotation. And come back center. And let's do it on the opposite side. Reach the arms to the sky, fingertips, thumb tips touching, length through the arm, elbows spiraling internally, reaching, reaching, reaching as you inhale, and as you exhale, come back center. Beautiful. Release the hands, fold it all the way down, step it back to plank. Knees is an option. Hover low, hover high, and do it 2 more times. Everyone meeting back in plank, pulling up and back to down dog. Slowly coming forward to plank, pulling up and back to down dog, drifting it back forward to plank, pulling up and back to down dog, step or jumping both feet forward, framed by your hands. As you inhale, extend to a flat back. As you exhale, fold back down. Bring hands to opposite elbow. As you inhale, rise up, sweep to the sky. Bring hands over heart, take the left foot, step it backwards. Let's make sure that we have a nice setup on this. That right knee, I'd like you to drift it behind the right ankle. Let's make sure the ball of that right foot has a rotation in towards the mat, but we haven't lost the connection of the ball of the baby toe in order to achieve that. The heel of that right foot, try to create, well, we're going to create an activation for it. So the back foot, we're up on the toes. Make sure the heel is aimed as best you can towards the sky, but again, it's that right ball of the big toe connected to the mat. We're going to take the heel of the front foot and the toe of the back foot and try to pull them together. You're going to feel a little bit of a morning glory going, hello. And then let's take our hands, I'm going to cup them, extend them, rotate the elbows in towards each other, extend the arms out just a little more. We're going to lean in as we pull the heel and the ball of the back foot together, raise the arms to the sky. And as you bring hands over heart, step that back foot forward and switch sides. Left knee drifting behind that left heel, eye on the toes, ball of each big toe, felt. Take the heel of that left foot and the ball of that big right toe and pull them together. Lean in a little bit, cup, extend, hold. I'm going to build that tension over time. I want you to feel the pull of both big toe, back foot, heel, front foot, pulling together, lengthening through it, getting wider through the chest. Arms are long, raise them up. Take a big inhale. Bring hands over heart on the exhale as you step back foot forward. Oh. Nice big breath. Step the opposite side back. We're going back into this. We're going to have a little bit of progression to it. These muscles are so important relative to our movement. Hip, openness. Same setup as before. Let's get into it. Let's take the heel of that front foot and the ball of the back foot, try to pull together. We're pulling to the center line of our bodies. Let's lean in a little more this time as we extend the arms out. Give me that nice cupping and nice push together. Take the elbows, rotate them down and in towards each other. Trying to bring as much straightness to the arm as we keep extended. Lean in just a little more. Nice. Lean in just a little more. Now with that, elevate that whole arm package. Take a big inhale, exhale. We're going to hold this for another 2 breaths. And as you release that second breath, bring hands over heart, step that back foot forward, switch sides. Center line, midline activation. Heel pulling towards the toe. Let's get it going. Let's do it, ladies. Let's lean in a little bit. Let's extend the arms out. Here's the progression. It's the lean that's the progression, but we're going to work the pull together. Heel and toe. Pull, pull, pull. Lean in a little more. And then lean in a little more. And then pull and lean in a little more. And then raise the arms. Breathe it out. 3 breaths. Hands over heart. Back foot steps forward. Great job. Sweep the hands to the sky. Why'd you give up on it so quickly? Fold halfway forward. Bring the arms into the side of the body. Palms facing the earth. Let's feel a nice opening or lengthening through our hamstrings. How well we're able to orient the back, like how well it can achieve a plane that's parallel to the earth, is largely determined by the length of the hamstrings and also of the gluteals, the ability to kind of find more length in that hip or over that hip. So let's try to keep the knees nice and straight. Let's engage those quadriceps, those front upper thigh muscles. And then let's try to create hollowness in our belly as we pull the hips back a little more. Try to lengthen out the upper body. Let's try to expand across the chest and the neck. Make it long. Pull the chin in. Nice. Now take the arms, sweep them both forward, and then sweep them back. Look beside the body, kind of like you're making a snow angel. Let's do this a couple more times. And then when you're ready, bring hands over heart. And then back up to standing. Nice. Wow, loving this, ladies. Looking really good. Let's take a big inhale. On the exhale, hold it down. Have a seat on your mat. Lie down on your back. I don't have a microphone, so because I'm deficient in it, I get to sit by the computer. Keep an eye on everybody. All right, so let's pull both knees up and into your chest and bring your forehead up to meet the knees. Yeah, and then rock it front to back. And then bring both feet down onto your mat. And then let's hollow out your belly. And let's step the heels just slightly forward of your knees. And then take your knees and pull them into touch. So your feet are flat on the earth and your knees have rotated into touch with the heels of the foot being slightly forward of the knees. Have some inward rotation going on. Try to pull the thighs together. So I'm not asking to push the knees into each other. I'm asking to kind of get a little deeper into down lower or into the middle part of those thighs and try to pull them together. Of course, this will create more pressure between the knees, but the muscle activation is from those inner thighs. Let's try to keep that real as we try to take the hips and elevate them off the earth. Now, as you work to elevate, is not about creating extension or compression. It's about elevation and finding the combination. So I like you to hollow out the belly and try to elevate the hips just ever so slightly higher, but not at the expense of that internal rotation of the thighs, that pulling them together. So if that is compromised, if that releases, you've kind of gone a little too high in that effort to push. I want you to back it off just slightly and then gently lower the hips back down, keeping those thighs pulling together, and then raise back up. Remember, the most important part is the thighs squeezing together. And then lower down, raise back up, and then lower down. Hold as you walk your legs all the way out. Now, setting this up, we're going to bring the feet hip width apart. We're going to step each heel back just about 2 inches. Stepping in a couple inches. We want a very obtuse angle in the knee. So almost at 180 degrees, but not quite. We're going to take your feet, we're going to flex them. So that's called dorsiflexion. So you can feel the thigh or the shin bone muscle, kind of highly active. Let's rotate the knees and the toes. So the big toes touch as also the knees. And similarly with that squeezing of the thighs being the emphasis of the movement, let's re-energize that activation. Let's keep that the focus of what you're doing here. Now, without physically moving, we're going to keep that inner thigh activation, but we're going to try to pull the heels in towards our butt. And that's for help's sake. We're going to extend the arms beside the body. So our hands are down by the hips. Let's cup the fingers and thumbs, kind of like we're doing in our standing position. Let's take the elbows and spiral them down towards the earth while the fingertips remain contacting our mat. The arms should be relatively long. Let's start to push the arms or fingertips, push the fingertips into the earth. And as we do, we're going to start to feel some muscles of the back being more active, more energized. Let's keep that. And then if you can, try to elevate your butt up off the mat. Now, we've been doing a lot of other talking, or maybe I've been doing a lot of other talking, but that inner thigh squeeze hasn't been forgotten, correct?
Correct.
Squeeze it, pull the heels, squeeze it, elevate, inhale, exhale, release. All right, pull the knees up and into the chest. Rock and roll forward to the back. Reset them back down. We're getting close to the end, so this is all good, right? And then same kind of setup. Legs extended, relatively obtuse angle, separated legs, hip width apart, and rotated in so that the thighs and big toes are touching. We have our feet in dorsiflexion. They are flexed, that anterior, they can feel that shin bone muscle active. Let's try to activate by hollowing out the tummy. As we keep that hollow out, squeeze the knees a little more. As we hollow out and squeeze the knees, try to add in an extra dimension by trying to pull the heels in towards your butt. With both arms extended beside the body, fingertips from our cupped hands are touching the earth. We're going to rotate, spiral those muscles of the, elbows of the body in as we push the fingertips, try to elevate hips. And as we elevate, I want you to squeeze your thighs, pull the heels, elevate high, push the arms, spiral elbows, remembering this all, and just repeating and repeating. And as you exhale it, bring it down, pull the knees up and into the chest. That was an awesome job. Let's rock forward to back. We're almost out of time. I don't want to lose this important stretch. Let's bring both feet down onto the earth. Let's cross the right leg over the left. Now, with the right leg being the anchor, I want you to pull that left knee towards the earth, but float it above the earth. We're not on that. We're not on it. Let's make sure both feet are flexed and that the heel of that left foot is on your mat. Let's reach the left hand straight up. And then if you can imagine the 90 degree between side of your body and an angle that comes right off the shoulder, directly up past the ear, and coming 45 degrees in that area, that little quadrant, if you will, reaching the hand back. Now, separate the fingers. Let's play around with the arm a little bit. Let's keep the fingers separated widely. Let's rotate your elbow, and that's kind of like the turning mechanism. I want you to turn your hand all the way one direction, and then rotate the elbow so that the hand rotates and turns the opposite direction. And let's do that a couple times. And then come back up. Let's cross over legs, opposite side. And then using the right leg to pull the left leg towards the earth. Sorry, the left leg to pull the right leg towards the earth. Making sure that right heel is down on the earth so it hasn't popped off, on the ball of that big toe. That heel connected to the earth. Take the right hand, reach it to the sky. Find that diagonal pull backwards. Make that arm long. Let's rotate the palm by rotating the elbow. So it's kind of like a dial of sorts. You're just kind of dialing the elbow all the way through one side, all the way through the other as you maintain nice length in the arm. Let's do it a couple more times. And then everyone come back onto your back. Pull your knees back up into your chest. Bring your forehead up to meet your knees this time. Let's rock and roll front to back. Come up to the seated position. Let's bring your hands over hearts. Let me thank you for your great participation today. Namaste.
Namaste.
No, Sean must stay in bed.
Okay, now what's on the menu?
Oh, let's say hi to Christian.
Christian's gonna say hello.
Yeah, let me check.
Is he?
Hey, Nisu.
Hi, sweetheart.
How you doing?
Good. I'm at a purple sky now. See?
Yeah, there you go. How was
There you
the workout this morning?
It was interesting because I was thinking you guys were like trying to sleep and couldn't.
We're just
And then-
we're up.
I heard your father unloading the dishwasher, I'm sure. Crash, bang, crash, bang. Yeah. So it was full of ambient noise. It's great. But it's good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And
happy
that's
to-
Annie there. Do you know Annie?
I did go skiing with Christian one time
Okay.
in Park City.
Oh, that's
I don't know,
right.
you-
Yeah, we did.
You were probably 11, maybe
Yeah.
12.
No, I remember that. Yeah.
And I've followed some of your videos of your kayaking, your whitewater kayaking. It's amazing.
Thank
Amazing.
you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, so sweet. What a lovely family.
Well, I'm glad I'm glad most of you were together.
This is Christian's better half.
Yeah.
This
I'm
is
Addie.
Maddie.
I'm the
Aw,
aunt.
hi.
And Auntie Sue.
Auntie Sue. Oh,
Sue.
So
On a
yesterday,
yoga mat.
we had so much fun. So Maddie and Christian planned a day in the city, and it started out by meeting at a bike rental shop, and we got some bikes, and then we biked from there, which was in downtown San Francisco, to the Golden Gate Bridge, over
Nice.
the Golden Gate Bridge.
wow.
It was a little dicey at times, I'm not gonna lie. When you're in a
Yeah.
small little lane and you've got bikers coming at you and you're like, am I far enough to the right? Is he gonna hit me? I mean, it was a little, So we survived that, and then we ended up biking down to Sausalito, and we had, a little snack outside, and then we went back to the Christian's apartment. And he has a
I saw that your sister posted, not your
did
sister,
she?
your sister, my niece posted a picture of you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
beautiful.
Raising a glass. It looks lovely.
Tables, couches. It's very swanky.
Beautiful.
Then we came back here and I made spaghetti and meat sauce.
That's delicious.
We had a nice dinner.
So
That's
have you
good.
had turkey or were you guys running around too much?
we've
Oh,
had turkey.
no, we had turkey. Maddie and Christian weren't here for Turkey Day, but Victoria and Bowie were, and we made a beautiful dinner with our daughter and her boyfriend Jeffrey. And he did all the cooking because he's a chef.
Ah.
It was the best turkey ever. He cut it.
I saw the picture. He like cut it in half.
Yeah.
Spatchcock.
So
Yeah,
spatchcocking,
that's
have
a
you ever
great idea.
spatchcocked chicken before?
Yeah.
Okay, let's
I've done a chicken. I haven't done a turkey.
Right.
Huh,
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and look.
Yeah, it's like the new, I don't know.
Yeah.
it's like
A new way to do it.
New way, like
Yeah.
TikTok, everybody's talking about doing
Yeah.
it that way.
TikToking.
But honestly, it was super moist and it's the best turkey we've ever had.
That's great.
So yeah, he's definitely welcome to cook for the Hayward family anytime.
Yeah. Nothing but
Well,
good.
enjoy your Sunday. I'm gonna sign off.
Okay.
Me
we
too.
love
Thanks.
you.
Thanks
Bye,
for
Alicia.
class, Sean.
Bye, guys.
Love you.
Bye.
Love to all. Bye.
You too.
Bye.
You want that jacket?
Um,
Don't you have a jacket? You can wear that one.